Hi, my name is Stephanie Larson. I am a student graduating from Portland State University with my degree in psychology. And part of my senior housing capstone was being introduced to The Landing, which is a shelter for students experiencing homelessness. And part of understanding homelessness is getting to know each person's unique story. I would like to share with you a personal testimony from a resident who is staying at The Landing. I've been dealing with housing insecurity since March 2020 when COVID-19 changed everything for me. As a student, the loss of my work, my studio, my cohort, and the thesis presentation my class and I were having was very impacting. By spring term 2021, I knew that I would probably end up homeless. I am a gender void and a pansexual human that everybody sees as a woman, my family in particular. I came out to them in September 2019 when I was safely away from them and living on the PSU campus. They didn't take it well. I have been in the closet, living with them for 4 years while trying to complete my undergrad. The whole time I was living with them, I was terrified that they'd find me out and I would end up homeless. I could not go back and live with my family, even if it meant being homeless. My school cohort was the only real support system. COVID affected each of us differently. By the time I needed help with housing, I didn't feel like any of them would be there for me. I knew this because people stopped checking in. My phone barely ever made a noise anymore, even though most of them knew I had no place to live. I felt exceedingly alone. I was starting to get panic attacks every day. It was hard to sleep. My PTSD flashbacks increased in volume and intensity. My physical pain skyrocketed. I experienced ADHD, and even Ritalin couldn't help me focus my mind. My suicidal ideation peaked, and I became the most dysfunctional I've ever been in my life. I started to run out of money, and I couldn't afford school loans. By the time I needed to leave campus, I had my car and a quarter tank of gas. I asked my brother to Venmo me some money, and all he said was, "Sorry, I have a flip phone now." So I started taking food delivery very seriously. I figured out how to make enough money to provide for myself. I just drove all night so that I would not get in trouble for sleeping in my car or parking for too long. It was hard because I did not get much sleep during the day. After a while, I was so tired, chronically, that I was not able to drive very well. I almost got into multiple crashes and fell asleep driving a lot. I got into this program called Safe Parking via an organization called Just Compassion. They gave me a place to park and sleep in my car. There was a plastic outhouse and a small storage pod too. I spent my summer working as a DoorDash driver. It was not a fun time, but it was better than living in the parking garage or crashing in my car. The day before I moved into The Landing, I was on I-5 South waiting for somebody to fix a flat tire when I became the victim of a hit and run. My back was hurt and my car was totaled, but I was so fortunate to be at The Landing. Oddly, the timing was perfect. I'm trying to put myself back together after this past year and a half. Compared to the summer, I don't even feel like I'm homeless. It's a dynamic difference. I'm very grateful. The Landing has been the most helpful service I have used across the board. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm having the kind of support that I have been needing well before I actually became a homeless person. It just wasn't available to me back then. Thank you so much for listening.